Sent to Doha, Luciano Zaccara is a Middle East and Gulf political analyst who joins me on the line. Now, some pretty sobering words coming from our correspondent there, the perspective being, and it's one shared by the Israeli finance minister, that this is a game changer or a game ender because it removes off the table, the argument is, the possibility of a two-state solution. What's your take on it?
Well, certainly I agree. I mean, if we have part of the Israeli government that is pushing for this to happen, and moreover, considering that Netanyahu already said that he doesn't believe in the two-state solution, we see that there will never be a state. We have always to remember that in Gaza and West Bank, only things that can happen is because Israel allowed them to happen. Otherwise, it will never happen. And since 1994, since the signature of the Oslo Agreement, if something happened, it's because Israel was willing to happen. Since 1996, since Netanyahu assumed power, and he has been in power since then, alternatively, but he has been in power since then, he made clear, more evidently every year that he never believed in this two-state solution. He was trying to delay the implementation of anything that was signed in 1994. And now, since the beginning of the war, he had the right excuse to say that this is the end, that he will never implement the Oslo Agreement. And therefore, even though the boys, the stronger boys, are the members of the right-wing part of his cabinet, he's supporting that. I mean, the idea of a greater Israel occupying also Gaza and West Bank is part of the narrative of Netanyahu, but he's not the one trying to impose or to show that this is his personal view, but a necessity for Israel to have this territorial integrity. And Gaza is an obstacle to do so. And in the future, West Bank will be also an obstacle. So it is clear that the settlements will continue, the illegal settlements will continue, because so far anything happened, even though there's international law saying that it's illegal, nobody stopped that to be implemented. Smotrich is making very clear that the plan continues, regardless of what the prime minister or the rest of the Israeli society or the rest of the world think about that.
Luciano, if you look at this, the overall picture, we have Israel. It's about to double the number of reservists that it's got in the Gaza Strip. It's about to occupy Gaza City. It's going to move more than 1 million people. It seems like full occupation is almost on the horizon. And now with the splitting of the occupied West Bank, Israel has acted absolutely unimpeded, no opposition whatsoever. It's got the kind of the quiet endorsement of the superpower of the United States and its president in the background behind it. Is there anything at all to stop Israel doing exactly what it wants with all the Palestinian territories?
Well, we know that the international pressure or external pressure does not mean anything for Netanyahu. Now we started to see that there is an internal pressure. I mean, opposition has been always along these 2 years, but more and more the pressure is coming from their own Israeli people, that they are against the war. Not that because they are interested in supporting Hamas or the Palestinian, nothing to do with that, but because they are tired of a war that has no justification. The military enemies of Israel have been defeated, according to Israel, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, Iran. So there is no justification to continue what they have been doing until now, because Israeli soldiers are getting killed, because some Israeli soldiers have committed suicide. They are tired of fighting without working or without having a normal life. So the pressure is coming from inside to stop this war that is now recognized as a massacre, even as a genocide by their own Israelis. So they are pressuring Netanyahu to stop this war. It's not that they are against the elimination of Hamas or they are against the occupation, the full occupation of Gaza, but they don't want this war to continue. So maybe this is the right time to push Netanyahu to accept at least a temporary ceasefire. But this will not stop the long-term plan, which is the unification of all the territories of Palestine under the control of Israel.
Luciano, appreciate your time and analysis. Luciano Zaccara is my guest, Middle East and Gulf political analyst.
Thank you very much.